All right, good morning. Okay. We will go ahead and get started. This is the October 26th meeting of the special events team. Couple of reminders, we are live streaming and it's a public meeting. So we have 3 folks online. So please remember to use mics. That allows the system to pick up the audio for the public meeting, and presenters too. You'll just want to make sure that the green light is on when you come up to the screen, and mind your P's and Q's. Please and thank you. And we'll start with introductions. My name is Maria Wague with the Office of Community Engagement at the City of Boise.
John Watson, Ada County Highway District.
Debbie White, Ada County Highway District.
Conrad McDaniel, Republic Services.
Vince Vergara, City Boise Parking.
Greg Eisenberg, Valley Regional Transit.
Natasha Fernie, Central District Health.
Sydney Murphy, City Risk Management.
Andre Womack, Downtown Boise Association.
Summer Altieri, Boise Parks and Rec.
Jesse Tapper, Boise Fire Department.
Joe Deathman, Boise Fire Department.
Taylor Gomez, Boise Police Events Admin.
Kelly Frank, City Clerk's Office.
All right, we will go online. Ed.
Ed Graves, Public Works.
And Sergeant Konvalinka.
Matthew Konvalinka, Boise Police.
And I think we have Jamie as well.
Jamie Heinzerling with the Boise City Clerk's Office.
Great, thank you so much. All right, Sierra, you are up. Sierra's our new rep on the Special Events Committee and now presenting. So give her your best, y'all. I know. I was like, you be careful what you wish for.
I see you got the tiger shirt on, so I'm gonna play it cool. Hello from the other side. I wish I would have worn my glasses, but great. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So hello, many of you know me already. My name is Sierra from Downtown Boise Association. I'm here to present on the holiday tree lighting, which is an event that will take place this winter. We haven't had it in 4 years officially in all its goodness. So we're really excited about bringing it back this year. The event will kick off the holiday season with a variety of festive guests, some new faces we haven't had at the event before, and performances. It's going to feature a lighting of the candle cups, which I brought one with me today, as well as a performance by Fred Astaire Dance Studios, the Boise Gay Men's Chorus, and the Boise Women's Chorus, as well as a special guest star from the North Pole. The mayor and 2 of her guests from the community will also join us to light the holiday tree and kick off WCA's Giving Tree season. So the event will take place the day after Thanksgiving on November 25th from approximately 5 to 6:30. We think that'll probably tighten to 5:15 to 6:15. It will be taking place at the Grove Plaza, which we will be, Downtown Boise Association will be notifying the neighbors about a week before, but we've been working with the Grove already. The setup will begin at noon that day with porta potties actually arriving around 8, but the stage, lighting, and audio will all arrive around noon. And teardown will begin promptly as soon as the event ends around 6:30, and we hope to be out by 8:30. Porta potties will be picked up the next day at around 8 a.m. For parking, we've got 4 spots in the process of being reserved with Vince. We're just working to see if the city can help us with paying for that. And they're going to be 4 spots off of 9th, just outside of the Grove. We're going to have a couple different booths, including a DBA booth that will house our first aid station, lost child, and 8AA assistance. We'll also have informational booths from not Boise Cascade. They're actually going to merge with ours, but we will have one hopefully from the City of Boise, WCA, and the Fred Astaire Dance Studios. As I mentioned, we'll have 4 toilets delivered with hand sanitizer on that for the event, as well as 2 ADA toilets that will be utilized at the visitor center. Talked a little bit about our stage setup and our entertainment. We're really excited to have all of those artists join us this year. I think it'll make it really unique. And we will have control over the Grove's background music as well, which will be a nice touch, I think. I talked with Captain Nia about our security plan, and we decided that we will just utilize 911 in case of an emergency and monitor pulse point to kind of keep our ears to the ground on anything going on nearby. We'll have a pretty extensive group of both staff and volunteers working the event to monitor crowd for security reasons, trash, and open flames. So this is kind of the tricky part. I've been working with Jesse about applying for the open flames permit. We're going to make sure that nobody leaves the Grove with any lit candles. Nobody's messing around or lighting too early. It's all about timing with this event. So we're going to try to be really careful with making sure people are being safe. We will have 5 fire extinguishers located throughout the Grove, just in case something happens. But yeah, we're really excited about bringing the candles back. Here's an overview of our location footprint. I think everybody should have got a copy of this, but it's online as well. It's kind of hard to read from here, but there will be a Festival of Trees ticket shed as well. We just won't be running that. That will be located at the Grove during the event. And trash and recycling. So I've been working with Conrad to reserve a dumpster that will be off of 9th, kind of near our parking spots. We aren't estimating, unfortunately, a lot of recycling at our event because there's just not a lot of paper being handed out, or there's no beverages, no food or anything. So any recycling we will just self-haul either back to our office that night or down with volunteers to go back home. Yeah, that's kind of it. Questions? I know I've talked to mostly everybody here, but if you have any questions, let me know.
Thanks, Sierra. Give it your all, John.
Well, this is on private property, so ACHD doesn't have any comment per se that, but there is one major question. How you get into Tree Dare?
I believe Mel from our office has been working with you on that.
Because we have, well, but we haven't seen a route.
Oh, well, we just talked.
And without a route, I can't let you move it.
She had told us yesterday that you had been working with her with a suggested route, but maybe I can.
Yeah, I think she requested a suggested route, but I don't think we've commented.
Oh,
and so I haven't really had a chance to really delve into that.
Okay, I'll
But
remind
I
her.
don't know. And I don't know what is required to suggest a route.
Mm,
You know, I don't know what the road lists need to be or, you know, anything like that.
copy.
Key things to think about.
Very, very important things given recent
Key
history.
things to think about
Oh.
with the movement.
Yes.
If it's on the interstate, you have to get permission from ITD. You typically have a motorcycle escort. You're going the wrong way down 9th Street. So you have to close 9th Street.
Mm.
So a couple of things to be considering, because you can't get, you typically come in on Grove Street and then go north on 9th and jog into the center on the Grove.
Mm.
So you need the police escort.
Okay. Yeah, no, she's cooking things up for that. So I'll have her circle back with you guys today when I get back to the office.
Unless you're going to hella lift the tree in, and then we're absolutely
wish.
fine.
That would be.
I thought you were going to carry it on your back, John.
Guys, Santa's got it covered. Don't worry.
That's one of those jobs the fire department takes care of because they do the heavy lifting.
Hi, Sierra. So this is just a 1.5 hour event on Friday. Okay. Well, I need to correct what I said to you earlier then.
Okay.
Since it's a holiday week, Thursday being Thanksgiving, we operate normally on a week like that on Saturday. So we have normal operations. We can empty and remove the dumpster on Saturday.
Oh, great. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So we can make that change.
But still delivering on Friday? you think?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, that'll be just fine. And then I had a question about the placement. I thought I saw in your presentation, or it's in the notes here on your service request to put it on the sidewalk. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, I think there was just some wording on the sidewalk. So this is actually something Andy designed for Live After 5 that I kind of changed up a little bit, but
Okay, I thought I recalled that being kind of off the sidewalk. Okay. Okay, perfect. We can do that. The sidewalk's a whole nother issue and we want to avoid that.
for sure. I will verify that that still works for the Grove today.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Sierra, thanks for taking my calls and thanks for working with me. I think we're set to go and I'll just wait to hear back from you on the direction that we need to go on the 4 parking spots and we're set.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Vince.
Hi, Sierra. Nothing for me. Thank you.
Hey, Sierra, no food, right? No food vendors, no food trucks. Okay, yeah, great. Nothing from Central District Health then. But just a quick question, how many porta potties?
4 porta potties and then 2 bathrooms inside the visitor center. So 6 total.
Perfect, thank
Yeah.
you.
We're good too.
Okay, thanks. Oh,
Sounds like we need to work offline, your favorite work, on getting community notifications out, but we got it.
Can't even, the park says nothing.
We've been communicating already, so I'm pretty familiar with your candle, permit. Just make sure you get that permit in and keep that access off of 9th open. I think we'll be good to go.
okay. I think we should have everything in for the permit.
Okay.
But I'll check in.
So you mentioned Pulse Point. That's a great app to be aware of what's going on in your footprint. But there's another one out there that's even better for events like this. It's called What 3 Words?
Oh, yeah.
And it'll get you down within a 10-foot radius. So if you do have somebody go down, you can call it in. And as responders, we can pull that up and see exactly where they're at. So that'd be another good one.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah, I'll have Sergeant Konvalinka comment if he has anything.
I don't have anything right now. We are planning to escort it, so we do have officers available for that. So, and we also know the location of the trees. So yeah, just waiting on the tentative route, and I think we're all good.
Okay, copy that. Thank you.
Let's see. So very busy day downtown that day.
Yes.
Boise State has a home game at 10 a.m. and the Steelheads are playing that night as well. And then Festival of Trees, you said, was going on
Yeah,
at the center.
I think during the day before, what was his motion, Andy? The day after.
Is when it starts.
Yes.
Okay. And then the market, are they?
The market is the day after as well. That's on Saturday.
Okay, Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's a lot. And we've talked about that as a team in terms of wrapping up the event, because I think the game gets out around like 6:15. So we have a pretty big crowd.
Yes. Everyone will be ready to.
Can't tell what you're
like.
We'll work offline. Not just the Steelheads game starts at 7.
Oh,
Doors
copy.
open for them at 6:15 that day. So our event should be, I think Sarah's thinking, wrapped up by about that time.
And I think it'll be the stage is obviously going to be a substantial wrap up, but we've got a pretty tight team and I think we can get it done without having to manage too much of the crowd.
Okay. Sounds good. And then if you have any questions or need anything, obviously, you said Mel was working on the route. So she'll need the citizen use permit, the ACHD permit, but you can, if it helps to filter those things through me to get them to everybody here, I'm happy to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Ed?
Yeah, I'll make this quick. So Sierra, you said you're gonna self-haul any recycling that you get.
So are you bringing in your own like additional trash and recycling bins? Or
Yes.
just using what's on site? Okay.
No, we've got our own trash and recycling bins that we'll be loading in.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. There won't be really any recycling, and people are just going to put those plastic cups in the recycling, which aren't recyclable, unfortunately. So, I mean, yeah, I would even just say maybe fewer recycling, just to maybe restrict the contamination that you're going to get when you
Mhm.
self-haul. But also too, I'm not going to be a curmudgeon, but maybe we can come up with an idea of like a different like wax capture or something besides like the plastic cup maybe, but we can talk about that later. But anyway,
Sure. Yeah.
Have a good event. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely down to brainstorm new ideas for 2023.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Ed.
Awesome. Thanks, Sierra.
Thanks, everybody.
Next up, the Boise Holiday Parade. Welcome, Roger. So fun to be talking about holiday things. I think my sister-in-law starts listening to holiday music and watching holiday movies in August, so you're in good company.
It is good to see all of you here. Appreciate you being here. I promise one of these days it's going to be someone else giving this presentation after 23 years or something that I've been doing it. So anyway, this year's parade, there'll be some changes because, we've lost a lot of our staging, there are now buildings. And so, the holiday parade stages, not necessarily in numerical order, but rather by type of entry. So the horses we have as far away as possible to keep them away from noise and bands and so on. And so this year we're going to have to get tighter with that. So we have a good crew that's working on that. We'll be using the usual route, 10th, Jefferson and Bannock, 10th to 4th, that basically that rectangle shape, and there'll be no change in that. By the way, before I get further, I want to introduce Carl Spute, who's one of the new members of the committee, and he comes with a lot of experience. He's been involved in the parade as entry for a long time, so we've known each other for a long time. So he's got a great addition to the team. The Grand Marshal will be the Larry Gebert family. They're going to be the Grand Marshals this year, and all the years that Larry, was supporting the parade. And the theme will be Joy to the World. The big change after many, many years is that the parade will be in December. It's going to be on December 3rd this year. It's something we've talked about for a long, long time. We've gotten feedback from community members and so on that maybe having a holiday parade in December made more sense than before Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving area. So after having 2 years off, we decided to give it a try. So that's what we're going to do. And I did check the weather. The weather's pretty similar on 2 weeks after we usually do it than it is on the day we do it. So we're hoping for that. There'll be 6,000 to 8,000 usually in attendance and over 200 participants. And according to our records, the parade is very close, if not 80 years old this year. So it's been around town a long time. So going on with some things here just for your information. Porta potties have been ordered by a company, and their handicap facility. We usually have a couple of those in the staging area, particularly for participants before the parade. A security plan. The Boise Police Department is working on officer assignments, that will be in the parade. And we're going to have a lost children booth connection with the TV cameras, which are close to the Capitol building and the command post. And we're going to have some signs made up. And we get 16 radios from the Interagency Fire Center. So 16 of the parade staff will have radios. And of course, we all have cell phones and so on, but the radios can be heard by 16 people at one time, including the people down at the camera. And so in case of emergency or a lost child or something, we would know right away where to look for them and give advice. And so we'll have those radios. Again, they also help with, emergency and logistical needs. We're like, where's entry number 14? They haven't shown up yet, things like that. So, and React will also be there to support the police officers and help with the monitoring of the stage, the road blockages. And there's no alcohol or food served in our parade, so we don't have those issues. I have shared the medical plan with the Ada County EMS, and they're actually in the parade. And so we've used them in the past, and we have a connection with them during the course of the parade. And I don't know if you remember, about 15 years ago, there actually was a gentleman that had an emergency, a medical emergency. So they actually pulled out of the parade, with an ambulance to deal with it. So it was kind of a great thing. So they're also going to be involved, and so we're fortunate. I've never had anything major happen in the course of the parade. There'll be, as I mentioned before, there will be, if there have been the last couple of years, some people come up and ask for special parking in terms of their parents being elderly and difficult for them to get around. And we have some parking available at the command post, which is at 10th and Jefferson, in case that issue does come up. And so again, we have a lot of radio contact regarding those issues during the parade. We have ordered 45 trash boxes. And I put those on in the permit request. They'll be picked up at City Hall on December 2nd, the day before, and we'll distribute them, put those out the morning of the parade, about 6 a.m. And we have got written permission from Boise High School. We've used their dumpster on Franklin Franklin Street, the parking lot there, after the end of the parade, when we take down the boxes and throw them in our trucks, and to take the bags out, we take the bags to the dumpster at Boise High School. And the head custodian is as usual on board with that and sent me an okay on the email just yesterday. So there's no fireworks or stages or speaker systems that are going to be set up as part of the presentation of the parade. The insurance is being worked on. Higgins Rutledge always waits 45 days before the event to start to put the policy together. I don't know if it's for, policy fees or whatever, and 45 days was last Wednesday. So, but I've already been in contact with them. They've already have put the thing together and going to send me a quote here any day now. And the certificates will be sent out to all of you that are involved as soon as I get them, including City of Boise and ACHD, for instance. They'll have the certificates of insurance. The community notification plan, about 3 days before the parade, we're going to be having volunteers. We just basically go down Jefferson and Bannock and Idaho and all the streets in between and give them a little informational leaflet or flyer to as many businesses that we can find open, and give them and just remind them that the holiday parade is going to be out Saturday. It's going to be an hour and a half, and it could affect their businesses or how they get into their businesses and so on. And I also have the form. I've received the form, and we'll write down as many of the businesses that we contacted as we can, so that we'll have that on record. I'll send that in when we're done with that. And we also have, the Boise parade, holiday parade on DBA, Chamber of Commerce, Channel 7, community calendars also, so that a lot of people, know that the parade date has changed and it's coming. There's no supplemental permits applied for because they didn't apply. Road closure maps have already come out. I've sent some out to ACHD and I think Boise Police Department also, and Higgins Rutledge and Specialty Construction has been also notified. I've asked them as part of the as part of sending us the maps that they need to start tearing down the road closures about 11:30 or so. The parade usually ends around 11:30 at 10th and Jefferson. And so they can actually start taking things down as, as Santa is going his way. And so I've asked them to make sure that they do that. So they're not laying around for 2 months. Parking, Vince has helped me get the 200 parking signs ordered. I'll be picking those up on Thursday morning before the parade. And I'll have a staff out on Friday evening to put them on 200 parking meters. And we'll take them down the day of the parade, and I'll return them to Boise City Hall on Monday morning. And there's no park and rec permits that are required because we're not using any parking areas. And just in addition, we have also notified Valley Regional Transit about the blockage and about the time and about where the route is. And so they're aware of some of the routes that might need to be adjusted. And I have heard back from Leslie about, she is aware of the blockage and is going to be dealing with that during the time that the parade is going on, any routes that are changed. So anyway, I think that's everything from my point. And we appreciate, many of you have been involved in the parade and know what the parade consists of all these years, and any feedback, our goal is to make the parade bigger and better and get more businesses involved and so on. So if you have suggestions or ideas, please let me know, because I'll pass it on. We got some great team members that want to move on to the next step. So any questions?
Thank you so much. I can tell you the mayor's very excited about the holiday parade this year.
So
So
we're glad to have them back in the parade. There's no doubt about that.
go ahead, John.
You want to start?
Hi. So we just got through speaking. I'm looking forward to getting the permit and the insurance. And I will check with the project inspector to make sure 11th Street's going to be open, or if not, the only thing is we might have to detour to 12th or 13th instead,
Yeah, that's one of the issues in the past of the parade is the parade. So, the parade, of course, is ending for many of the entries before some even get into the parade. And so we might have to put them, we might have to break up the entries, maybe on 10th or something, and have them go their own way instead of having them go down to 11th. But, we'll deal with that the day of the parade.
Yeah, and then let me know what you guys figure out for the horses in Idaho Street. And other than that, I think we're pretty
Okay.
good.
That'd be great. Thank you.
My turn. The third is the Mountain West Championship football game, which may or may not involve Boise State.
Right.
It's not in the footprint, but there are requirements for police support for that event, which may or may not push police to their hourly limit that they're able to work. That's a mad issue, but just wanted to mention that. Sierra, the Key Bank building will be inaccessible for several hours during this parade. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. People can't get in, can't get out. There's no way around it. So between Roger, you, and Key Bank, you need to make sure that's coordinated, gotten to the office workers and to the tenants that live there, because when the parade's going, it's closed. They're either watching the parade from their balcony or they're a part of the parade because they're not moving. Debbie will work with you on the horses and things like that.
Okay.
But your event's a really good event. We're glad that you guys are coming back. You're always a pleasure to work with.
Thank you. We appreciate, we couldn't do it with all of your support. And we did know about the football championship. We were just hoping that if it is scheduled, that it's, an afternoon or an evening game. So that's what we're planning on, anyway, but at the same time, we are aware of it.
Yeah, that's all ESPN controls.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of input on that.
I was going to give Kurt Herbstreit a call, but I don't know if it would help or not. But anyway.
I can get the number for you.
Okay.
Hi, Roger.
Hi.
You mentioned you have permission from Boise High
Yes,
to use the dumpsters. If I could get a copy of that, that'd
Sure.
be great.
gladly, no problem.
I sent you an email last week, so you should have
Yes.
my email address.
Yep.
Because you moved this to the first week of December, school will not be out for Thanksgiving break. So they'll be using those dumpsters Monday through Friday. And I just want to make that clear. And I'll probably remind the custodial staff at Boise High of that.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, that's a very good point. He mentioned about
Okay.
making sure things were not, to get him into the dumpster. We said absolutely.
Okay. And that school does get picked up every day except for the weekend. So it should be fine, but it is a little different with the date
No,
change.
that's good. That's a very good point. Yes.
And then you're going to borrow 45 trash boxes. That's awesome. And you're going to remove them and take them to Boise High. But what happens in between the trash boxes? Is there cleanup to make sure that the sidewalks and street are clean?
Yeah, basically, as the parade ending, we have folks that start going down, taking down the trash cans and putting stuff in the bags that that were missed and so on. And so that's part of the cleanup detail. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Roger.
Yeah, sure.
Roger, we are set to go on parking. We have our plan, so we're good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much for your support.
Yep.
Hey, Roger, I just want to say a few years ago, we participated for the first time in a long time. And we're very excited to participate again this year. So thank you.
Thank
I'll
you.
get the map from Leslie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Roger, and Nathan from Central District Health.
You've communicated with me on insurance already, so we're good.
Thank you.
Hey, Roger. So we've been talking offline already about the neighborhood notifications, and I'll just follow up with you about Key Bank, but thank you in advance for the flyers.
You bet.
Nothing from Parks.
Roger, not a whole lot from fire prevention. I just spoke with Carl before the meeting. We'll be coordinating some float design safety standards.
That's fantastic.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Yeah, Roger. I'm operations for Boise Fire. If you could just forward that medical plan to us as well. as
Oh,
the
sure,
county
absolutely,
mess, That'd
yeah.
be great. Thank you.
So in addition to Key Bank, we have to be mindful of the tenants in the Idaho building. I imagine this is the same for the Veterans Parade. The street will absolutely be closed. So Sierra, I'll work with you on that since that's closer. But there obviously are tenants there on that corner that we just need to be mindful of because being so close to the Capitol and Cecil Andrews Park, the road is closed very often. So the more notice we get to them, the better.
What's the corner?
So it's
Be
the Key
9th
Bank
and-
building is Bannock and Capitol.
Okay.
And then the Idaho building is 8th and Bannock. And there's also the post office that sometimes gets forgotten. So we'll make sure that we circle back around on that. If you do have any kind of no food, beverage, anything like that, can you get us a site map so we can see where you're staging, where your the media will be, that kind of thing? Do you have a layout of that?
I'll get one made.
Okay.
We have some new folks on the young folks on the committee that, you sit there and talk to them about things that you need and you spend 20 or 30 seconds talking about it. And all of a sudden when you get done, you say, you think you can do it? He goes, I just did it. What's next? So I'll get them to work
It
on it.
doesn't need to be anything fancy, but if we can just, we do understand the standard parade route.
Yeah.
But if we can see where the staging is going to happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could,
Where you
I
guys
could
are
probably
going
even
to
mark
be.
on something on that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think typically is the media near the Capitol.
Yeah. Right across from the Capitol. Yep.
Okay.
And then the command post is 10th and Jefferson.
Okay.
So that's where that's where I'll be, putting the entries in by number and things like that.
Okay.
So,
Yep. So that's very helpful. So you can send that to me and then I can disperse it to
Okay.
the group.
okay.
Kelly, one other thing for ACHD is we've reached out to KTVB regarding the TV setup. We're not going to require a separate permit for TV setup because they're entirely within the footprint. Unless KTVB needs to be there earlier than the setup time for the parade, or will be remaining there later than the setup time for the parade, then KTVB will be responsible for having their own traffic control to close the Y. Does that make sense, Roger?
Yes.
So you need to probably reach out to KTVB since they're not calling me back. And let them know that as long as they're in after your closure takes place and gone before your closure is done, we're not going to require a separate permit. But if they're going to need to get in hours earlier for setup or stay later, then we have to have a road closure for that.
Okay.
All right, online folks, Ed.
Yeah, hi, Roger.
Hi.
Just a quick comment. So the 45 trash boxes will actually need to pivot, and you'll need to get those from Republic Services, and I can send you all that info, but I don't carry that many on hand at one time, unfortunately, at City Hall. So it'll be in just they're off of the Executive Drive, but I'll get with you and make sure that we have that all buttoned up for you. But
Okay.
other than that, that's all I've got. So thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Sergeant Konvalinka.
Thanks, Roger. I will work with React. I'll get a hold of them, and also we'll send you over a staffing agreement. I think John might be a little bit too optimistic as far as the championship game, but we'll see about that. We can always work around that. Other than that, I don't have anything right now for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jamie, anything from you?
Nothing from my end. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I look forward to participating in that parade.
Thanks. We'll keep in touch and the best we can. And thanks again for your support. Appreciate it.
All right. Next up, Allison to talk to us about another fantastic run. Welcome back, Allison.
Okay, so we're excited to be back. We haven't hosted this event since 2019, so in person. So we're super excited to have the Christmas run coming back, and it could be the last couple years that we get to do it in the footprint that it is because of the new Y and all that fun things that are going to happen. So super excited. It'll be on Saturday, December 17th. Let's see if I can make this work. So we're hoping for 2,500 people. That's optimistic and very hopeful. We do have some already registered now. So, and one of the things that's always played into our enrollment or registration is the weather. So if it snows, we typically get more people. If it doesn't, we don't have close as many as we'd like. So hopefully it'll snow and we'll have a great turnout. People love to run in the snow. So in the past couple of years, it's been virtual. So we're hoping to, in 2019, we were at 2,400. So 25 is a little optimistic, but we're super excited to think of that possibility. So this has been happening for, over 35 years. Lots of community partners that play into this. St. Alphonsus is one of them. Select Health is our new title sponsors this year. We do a 1 mile reindeer dash for the kiddos and their family. And then we do a 2 mile and a 6 mile, and it's all on the road. So this is an exciting time. It gives people more of a fun time to come out of their houses and cheer them on, and lots of music coming from people's homes and cheers for the holiday. So it's fun. We'll have a costume contest on the step of Boise High before we get started. Santa's there to help start the race. We'll be having a hot soup that's been donated and bagels, and then maybe have hot chocolate. I haven't talked to people who have donated that to us before. So we're still working on that. So Panera right now is who is donating the soup. It'll come cooked and hot and we'll serve it right when we receive it. And then Blue Sky Bagel donates some bagels to us. And we are looking for another soup partner and we'll see. Typically the co-op has come through with that. We're working with Life's Kitchen as well. So we'll see. And then Go-Go Squeeze will have pouches there as part of the snack for after the race. And then we'll have vendors they're inside Boise High and on the quad there, bandana. We'll have our photo booth. McHugh Sporting Goods is usually there. And then we do, in the past, we've worked with KTVB and then Light FM for their holiday station. So hopefully we'll have some media coverage from that. So this race is definitely one that we work closely with Boise PD. We use React, Boise Motor Escort for this event as we start on Washington behind the Y, but by Boise High and go down to 15th. And then we go up 15th to Highland View Drive. And that's a rolling closure when we do this because the people are moving pretty quickly. And then once they're off that road, the traffic can start to flow on down 15th again. And we'll have lots of volunteers out on this course. With Boise Motor Escort and React, they help us with all of our intersections that are crucial. And then we have volunteers that are throughout the course as well. We'll be putting out notices in the neighborhood about a week prior to the event to let people know. And then, or in the community, we'll post them about 2 weeks out on the course. And then we also go through down 15th and up in Highland View area and give them out to the people in the area and use the Nextdoor app. We also use the Boise High dumpsters for this because we're using and paying for their facility. So we are allowed to use their dumpsters and recycling. And we have our own trash boxes that we'll be using for that area. And we typically have gotten a few recycle bins for this, just for the water bottles. So we'll see. I think I've requested a few of those. So this is the layout that we've used in the past. So the food tent will be a 20 by 20 that we have someone come out and put up. And then we have our first aid that's right there with the tent and our medical team is there. And then the start is on Washington and the finish is on Franklin. We use Boise High's steps for the DJ and Santa and power and everything. And then for the finish line, again, we use Boise High's power and have a DJ on that side as well. And both of those DJ booths are also our lost child, missing parent type of area so that people can find and we can announce that if someone is in need of assistance or is looking for someone. They come in off of Franklin right there into the quad and grab their water. And then they come into the cafeteria to get awards and warm up. And then the soup is served in the tent is just a walkthrough. They just pick up a little cup. And that's how we've done it in the past. And this is the parking map that we've worked with. We're losing parking lots all the time for people to let us park. But we work with most of the churches in the area to secure parking, which I've talked with Cathedral of the Rockies and the Baptist Church and some of the First Presbyterian Church. So we're working with them and they've all so far been able to allow us to park there. In 2019, I worked with the lot that is across from the Y and they let us, I think it's the Boise parking company. And they let us use that for about 3 or 4 hours for participants that were just parking from, 9 to noon for free. So that was really nice. We do allow some of the parking on the other side that the Y has for parking for members to be more Christmas run participants. And then our other lots that we have over on the other side by the Healthy Living Center. So this is our course for the Reindeer Dash. It starts at 10, so we get them rolling and get out. And then within the next 15 minutes, we start the next course because by the time that they're turning on Residue, most of the time that will be 15 minutes to have that last turn. And we do have the police lead them out and we get them out to 15th and they turn on Residue and then come back down 12th to Franklin. And then for the 2 mile course, they follow exactly, except for they turn on Lemp and come down to 12th and come back to the finish line. The 6 Mile is a little more difficult, not in the sense of traffic, but just getting up the hill. So this is the hard course. Everyone calls it the Christmas Run Hill. So they go up Highland View Drive all the way to the top, and then they come down 8th Street. There's a little connector from the road to the dirt road, and then they come down the dirt road to Lemp and come over to 12th and then come down. And then we'll have porta potties there. That'll be right behind the Y, and they'll be in the street right behind the Y, which is where we've had them in the past. And typically for this event, we have at least 10. We also are allowed to use the restrooms in Boise High and at the Y, but it's just so many people that we try and have as many as possible to help everyone out and standing in line. So. And that's the start area right in front of Boise High, and that's where the tent goes on the quad. That's what we've done in the past. And that's it.
Thank you. ECHD.
Well, hi, Allison.
Hi, Debbie.
I still need a traffic control plan.
Yes.
And on a route map, those route maps would be nice too.
Yep.
Also, you said you're going to be putting the porta potties on the sidewalk. I'll probably need a pedestrian plan.
So we actually put them right there in the streets. They
Oh.
get dropped off right in the morning and then picked up right after
Okay,
the
so
race.
they're not going to be on the sidewalk.
No, sorry. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Allison.
Hey.
So I guess I didn't realize that the trash and recycling is part of your rental agreement with Boise High.
Yes.
Fantastic. Do you mind sharing that with me? I totally believe you. I just want to have it on our side. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
so we don't
definitely.
end up in trouble down the road.
Yes, no problem.
Great. Thank you.
Allison, we don't need anything from you in parking, so we're set. Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Hi, Allison. We're good over here too. Thank you.
I do have one question for you guys. I think there's a route that you guys have that sometimes might interfere, and we usually just send a map and let everyone know that week. Is that
Have
okay?
you sent the map already to Leslie or?
No, I have not.
I can give you my card afterwards if you want. And then it's a main street. The way it might be State Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, just
That's
because
a
we
major
have
route, yeah.
traffic. Yeah.
But
So-
you have intersection control?
Yes.
Sounds like, okay. I'll see you afterwards.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hey, Allison. So
Hello.
once you finalize your vendor list, please submit your information to us. But other than that, I do not have any additional questions for you.
Great. Thank you.
We're good too.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Hey, Allison, thank you for your notification plan. I'll keep an eye out for that neighborhood notification form I sent over. And I've actually, since this is outside of the downtown core, I've already signed off. So I'll just wait for an email from you. Thanks.
Great. Thanks.
Parks needs nothing.
Thank you, Allison. No issues.
Allison, you've done this enough times. I know you know Pulse Point and all that stuff. So
What was the other app that you mentioned?
it's called What 3 Words?
What 3 words? Okay. Great. Thank you. We'll definitely get that on their phones too.
I don't have anything for you at this time. Thanks for coming in kind of early ahead of the game and getting everything squared away. We appreciate it.
Yep. Gives us all a little more time.
Yes.
Ed.
Yeah. Hi, Allison.
Hi, Ed.
Hey, I just gonna ask quickly. So on the application, it's not filled out for like any recycling bins that you need, but it sounds like you might need a few.
Yeah, it is what's been happening is sometimes we use the Boise High's receptacles as recycling since the custodian empties those ones. So I just wasn't sure. I have to talk with Doug about that and make sure they're still going to do that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, just let me know, and if you need a few, absolutely. That's the no problem. But that's all I've got. So
okay, great.
so
Thank you.
Sergeant Konvalinka.
Thank you, Allison. As always, don't have any issues. Your events are really well run. We'll send you over a staffing agreement so we can get that taken care of, and we'll see you then. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Jamie, anything on your end?
Nothing on my end. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Allison.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You've got this so dialed in. It's easy. All right, just a couple to check in on. 10 Barrel Pray for Snow. ACHD, have you been able to sign off on that?
Yeah, John should sign off on that today.
Okay.
Everything's approved.
And Central District Health, Natasha?
Yes, great.
Okay, fantastic. Veterans Parade, Republic Services.
I have not had any communication with them on what they're gonna do. They said that they're gonna clean up the trash and recycling and take it away, and I just need more information than that.
Okay, great. ACHD.
Yeah, we're good on that one.
Okay. Central District Health. Good to go. Okay. And DBA.
I have not had a response yet from them on my neighbor notification, so I'll follow up again.
Okay. And Zeitgeist Half Marathon, Ed.
Yeah, I signed off this morning.
Okay. ACHD.
Yeah, we're good with that one as well.
Okay. And Natasha. Good to go. Awesome. All right. Just a reminder about your after action reports. And I think we have, or we'll stay tuned to see if we have a meeting in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think with the event that was supposed to take place today, we were rescheduling them till the 9th for the potato drop presentation.
Okay.
Will most likely be on the 9th. And then there might be another application coming in too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Stay tuned.
All right. Stay tuned on Pins and Needles. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.